That's the silver one.
It might be difficult to understand what all the remotes on your coffee table do. But with a Kentucky Farm Bureau agent in every county, at least it's easy to get great insurance. Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
Next time, I'll just go to the game.
A lot has changed in 100 years. We've gone from the Model T to the electric car, from silent film to home theaters, and from the telegram to the iPhone. And through it all, People's Bank and Trust of Hazard has been there for local people. From paper checks to debit cards, from wire transfers to online banking, People's Bank has maintained a tradition of service while embracing the future for your financial needs. Celebrating a century of service to the mountains. People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
TVS Cable has everything you need to stay entertained. Video services with all your favorite channels and local sports on Hometown 24. Ask about digital voice service for home and business. High-speed internet so you never fall behind in a game. There's something for all ages. We've got you covered. Sit back and enjoy everything TVS has to offer. Stay connected with TVS.
Since 1962, Citizens Bank and Trust of Jackson has been proud to serve the community. They care about the people of Breathitt County and are the only locally owned bank in the community. With 2 branches in Jackson and 1 in Beattyville, they're never too far away when you need them. And with the latest innovations in banking, keeping track of your finances has never been easier. Helping to grow Breathitt County as leaders for over 60 years. That's Citizens Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
In Kentucky, we understand what matters: family, friends, community. But sometimes we hurt. At Mountain Comprehensive Care Center, we believe in hope, and Mountain's behavioral health professionals want to be there for you every step of the way. Together, we can overcome the challenges of depression, PTSD, addiction, and so much more. With behavioral health centers throughout Kentucky, your story of recovery begins at Mountain Comprehensive Care Center.
This is the 4th app. I don't remember any of these passwords.
With so many subscriptions, it can be impossible to keep up.
Who said that?
Don't worry about who I am. Worry about all the money you're losing paying for all these subscriptions.
I have to use like 13 to watch all the shows I want to watch.
Then sign up for TVS. With TVS, you have all your favorite shows with just one bill. So stop throwing away money and throw away those subscriptions.
Magellan, what should we do with all this money we save by switching to TVS?
Welcome to Letcher County Central High School's Hometown 24 brings you volleyball of the Letcher County Central Lady Cougars and the Pikeville Lady Panthers. Lady Panthers 12-6 on the season, and likewise Letcher County Central 12-6 on the season. I'm Manus Blair, and I'm joined by Letcher High School and Letcher Central coaching legend Betty Von Cottle. Betty Von, how's it going?
Appreciate the introduction. I've just been sitting here just going over the rosters. I've been looking at like Letcher County Central. Right now they're holding a good record, and if you look at them, they have, they're loaded with 7th grader, freshmen, sophomores. They have no juniors. They have 2 seniors. Everybody thinks, well, that's just 2, but look at the 2 it is. You know, when you're losing 2 players, you're using a setter and a hitter. But Letcher County Central, their future looks pretty bright if they can keep this crew together and they work and, stay together and work hard as they get older. And then you look at Pikeville, they're always, a very top seed in Pike County. They have sophomores, juniors. They only have, as far as I can see, 2 seniors. So they're pretty young also.
Yeah, and when you talk about setters, you're going to see 2 of the best setters in the mountains. For Pikeville, you're going to see Miss Lindy Gearhart. She's got 463 assists on the season. And then, of course, for Letcher County Central, you're going to have Amelia Lucas, who is close to that 400 mark now after this weekend. And as we've said on numerous of our telecasts, everything goes through the setter, and if it's not the setter, then it goes to the libero. And we'll talk about the 2 liberos as well here in a second. But me and you've talked numerous times about that setting and getting that ball to the setter as Letcher Central is warming up out here, and we were watching Pikeville and their setter, Miss Gearhart. So a lot to look at. And when you talk about the setters, let's talk first about Letcher Central's Amelia Lucas. We've seen her now a couple of times, and she continuously amazes me how she can move and get that ball in the right place for her hitters.
Exactly, and even not getting a, you're not going to get a perfect pass, but she can get some pretty bad passes out of her range, and she's still able to bring it back. And if her hitters are ready, they can hit the ball.
Yeah, and as we're sitting here watching, and those hitters are like the middle blocker, Miss Lowe there, and Pack, Bailey. When you're looking at Napier, you're looking at all those people. Sometimes you're not, and like you said, it's not going to be perfect. So you have to adjust yourself, or you have to move, and kind of left out Miss Eldridge over there as she hits the ball too. It can't be perfect.
No.
But at the same time, you don't want to overpass that thing where she cannot have anything she can't adjust it or move it. And
no, this ball needs to be set off the net and let Amelia decide what she wants to do with it.
Yeah.
And she's got to be smart, and it's not always going to your buddy, because everybody on that team is your buddy. You got to go to the person that's going to let you score. And a smart setter looks on the other side and decides, where's their big, strong blocker at, and I want to keep it away from them. I don't want that blocker to beat me.
And when you're talking about blockers for the Pikeville Lady Panthers, you're looking at Miss Olivia Williamson, and evidently, and I've watched a little bit of their games, and today just a little bit, and she's the person that they go through, and she is the one that Miss Lucas will look and see where she's at and try to get that volleyball to one of her hitters opposite of Williamson.
Yeah, and like I said, these setters have to be so smart. They're not just, they don't have to, it's not that they have to have the best hands, which they do, but they've got to be very smart. They've got to know where the defense is on the other side, who you do not want your hitters going up against. You want your hitters to have the easiest chance of hitting. So you're not going to put them up against a 6'5" if you don't have to.
No. And, when I look at Pikeville, and, I've watched them on streaming, but, when I look at them here, they look like a very athletic group. Yes. And when you go down and look, they've got Miss Kyla Lee has 101 kills. You have Olivia Williamson, who has 179 kills. You have Kate Sayers, who has 110 kills. So a varied attack scheme from them. It's not just one person that's making all the kills. So you just got to be on your toes as a blocker. And, of course, that's, for Letcher Central, when you start looking at who the blockers are, and that's going to be Calissa Lowe. And so it's going to be Calissa Lowe versus Olivia Williamson.
Yes.
Which one as a middle blocker can control that net?
And that's what, as a coach, if that's my team, Pikeville, that's what I like, is you're looking and saying, now you can't just block this player and beat us. You have to block 4 or 5 of these kids. And that means that's going to make that defense work extremely hard trying to get to them. Same way with Letcher Central. They do not go to the same person every time.
Oh, no.
So these teams are not going to have one loaded hitter. You're going to have several hitters that you have to play throughout the game.
And, you're building that confidence. And, of course, Letcher Central went to Lexington. And, you play different teams with different schemes. You see different levels of athleticism. Pikeville, who is RPI #1 in the 15th region. So you're looking at improving based upon your schedule. And, I looked at Pikeville's schedule, and they played a strong schedule as well. So both coaches are preparing their kids for district play coming down the road.
And, that's what you can go all season and be 32-0 and get beat by some little, I'm not going to say a weak team, but somebody that's not as strong as you, or you can get out here and play these strong teams and have a decent record and be ready to play in the district and the region.
Because they expose your weaknesses, and then once they expose your weaknesses, then in practice
you go back and work on
right.
that.
So,
exactly right.
You know, and when you look at Coach Van Hoos and you look at Coach Hamilton here, that's what they do by playing the kind of competition in which they have played this year and will continue to play right up to tournament time.
And they're both young coaches, so they've got the energy to do that.
Yeah.
Congratulations to them. I'm proud of them.
Yeah.
I've spent my 30 years here, so I've turned it over, and I think Van Hoos is going to do a good job.
And evidently we're not doing a national anthem.
That's
We're getting
not.
ready to go to a break. But let's talk a little bit about the Libreros. When you look at Letcher Central, of course, you're talking about Piper Adams. Had a really good game against Knott County Central our last telecast. And then when you're looking at the Pikeville Panthers, you're looking at people like Anna Mouton, who just recently had her 1,000th career dig. So you know right away
she's very involved.
She's very, very involved. And, you know, even with Kyla Lee, I've just noticing, and she's in the back here, number 1. She just got her 500th career dig. So look for a good defensive scheme with the Lady Panthers.
Exactly. That's the thing. People just don't realize how important these liberos are. The other night when we watched Letcher Central and Knott County Central, that was a defensive match.
Yep.
And then, of course, we said before the game, it was going to be controlled on the net, and it was. That's exactly where I thought the game was controlled at, was this net.
And Pikeville will start off, and it will be Miss Gearhart who will serve. It goes to Lucas across to Lowe. There's Mouton. Hits it to Gearhart, who pushes it across. To Napier, to Lowe. Lowe goes across, and there's Gearhart. Mouton comes up with it, and it's going to be long. And that was Woods that hit it just long, and that's point, Letcher Central.
And both of these squads are running their 5-1 right now. They have one setter in there, and they're coming from the back row.
And Lucas will serve. Mouton across to Staley. Gearhart will bump it across. Free ball goes to Lowe. Both teams are having a little trouble early.
They are. That's just nerves. They'll have to settle down. And
nice block, but it goes out of bounds, and it will be point, Letcher Central, 2-0.
That's one Williamson just got there a little light, and her hands were pointed outward. So
had the right idea,
exactly.
Wrong angle. Lead to Mouton across. And it will be a cut shot as Napier comes up. Low block, nice up.
That's what we were talking the other night, that Letcher Central has to work on supporting that blocker.
And that was
a good
Woods
job.
with over top of the block.
Right. And Piper was a little too far back, and over here you had Amelia Lucas, which is your setter, but she was playing behind that blocker. That's, guys, when you're playing strong hitters that swing all the time, you have got to protect that ball behind that blocker.
And Sayers will serve for the Lady Panthers. Out of play now with Napier. Back to Sayers to Gearhart. And Lee will short it. Napier with up to Lucas. Back to Napier. And I'm sorry, that was Adams in the back. And Lee hits it into the net, and that's going to be point, Letcher Central. 3-1 Letcher Central. And as you mentioned, it takes a little while from getting rocking and rolling and a little adrenaline flowing as Eldridge will serve. Mouton with the up. Sayers, and it's going to be nice play. Getting it across was Lee. Back to Pack. And it's off, and it's going to be in, and that's going to be point, Letcher Central. And there's going to be a timeout, Lady Panthers, and it is 4-1, and stay with us as we're in set 1, and we'll be right back.
No one likes an uninvited guest, especially when that guest is a potentially dangerous pest. So call Bluegrass Pest Management and let the pros take care of your problem. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, providing much-needed jobs to local people. With 3 locations in Hazard, London, and Hindman, they treat rats, mice, roaches, bed bugs, termites, and many more. Open Monday through Friday and now servicing all of Kentucky. Say goodbye to your uninvited guests today. Call Bluegrass Pest Management.
Welcome back to Letcher County Central as Pikeville's coach Hamilton calls timeout, 4-1. Eldridge with the serve. Sayers with up to Gearhart. And Williamson tries to touch it over. Back to Pack. Pack goes down the line, but there's Sayers. Gearhart across to Lee. Off the net. Up with Adams. Pack to Mouton. Gearhart short set. Williamson with a nice hit.
Nice hustle by Eldridge.
Oh, yeah.
Lucas takes it over. It's a free ball.
That's a tough one right there, and Madison Napier tries to hit it down, but Sayers is there, and that's going to be a illegal contact on the Lady Panthers. So that's going to be point, Letcher Central.
But did you see when Pikeville came out of that timeout how they had that line covered?
Yep.
That's what you've got to be able to do.
And that's a coaching adjustment.
Yes, during the ball game, you have got to be able to adjust this defense.
Mouton back to the front to Williamson, and she'll bump it across. Goes to Eldridge. Napier off the block, and that's going to be a point. Letcher Central, 6-1 Letcher Central. Coach Hamilton calling off signals here. Eldridge with the serve. Sayers with a nice up to Gearhart. Goes back to Williamson. Williamson down the line. Adams has it. Eldridge could not pick it up, and it's going to be a point. Pikeville.
I think Adams got a little lost to where she was at on the floor. I think she thought she had somebody behind her.
And I've got lost because she didn't have their barrel shirt on. A nice up to Lucas, across to Pack. Pack off the block, and it's in, and that's going to be a point. Letcher Central, 7-2.
You know, Pack is actually hitting the hardest hit in the game, going down the line from the outside. She's having to turn her body all the way around, but now let me tell you, she's eating this line up.
And she is a freshman.
She is.
So, like you said earlier in the pre-game stuff, Letcher Central, other than their two seniors, a young team. And Pikeville's got a mix of young players as well. Mouton overpass, and Pack hits it back. Mouton gets it. Lee over top of the block. Pack with a up to Lucas. Nobody's calling, and it's going to be a point. Lady Panthers.
See, that's the ball as the coach that you just get real red on.
Oh, yeah. Williams comes into Woods, and Williams will serve for the Lady Panthers. And Williams being a sophomore, one of those young girls we were talking about. Nice serve as Adams gets it up, goes across to Bailey. Bailey to Mouton. Across to Lee, the block there, and nice job with the hands. Free ball. Adams to Lucas. Back set to Napier, and it's in. Point, Letcher Central.
You know, before the season, they had, right after the season started, they actually changed Napier's hitting position, and it's made her
a bit more comfortable.
Yeah, comfortable, but just a much, much better hitter.
And Perez comes in for the Lady Panthers as she comes in for Williams, as Napier will now serve. Gearhart over to Lee.
Nice
Adams with a nice one. Dump. And there was Perez ready for it. Lee hits it down the line. Napier over, and it goes down. Nice play that time. And I do not have a number 17. Do you have a number 17 on yours? I do not.
I do not.
Anybody that's watching from Pikeville, if you will put it on there for us, we'll. But number 17 with a nice play for him as Lee will serve.
Very smart play. She put it right in the honey, right in the center.
Bailey with a cut shot, and there, nice job of Sayers. Gearhart back to Sayers. Nice play once again by Eldridge. Pack with a hit off the block, and that's going to be a point. Letcher Central, 9-4 Letcher Central. Serve by Pack. Nice serve off of Perez, and it's going to be down, and it's point, Letcher Central.
You can already see why Mouton has 1,000
She's everywhere.
Yes.
She's like kudzu. Pack hits it, and Perez is unable to control it, and that's going to be point. Letcher Central. Nice serving. Ebony Pack has over 60 service aces so far on the season, so she does a nice job. Another serve.
And we had a sub for freshman, and it was Williamson. She's only a freshman, number 26.
Nice put down that time by Sayers, and that's going to be a point for Pike Central. Pikeville, sorry. I watched the Pike Central game again today. Sorry, you guys out there.
Hey, don't let them start saying bad stuff. You better get this right.
Yeah. I do make a few mistakes. Overpass,
okay.
and it's put down by Williamson. So point, Pikeville on the overpass.
When you have two good teams, your net is going to be your most important spot on the floor.
Nice serve, nice up. Napier comes back to Bailey, and it's going to be off the block, and that's going to be a point. Letcher Central.
Okay, you have Popper Adams up serving.
Williamson, and it's not going to be a cross, so that's 4 times, and that's going to be point for Letcher Central.
And it is 13-6, and Adams is serving. And guys, she's only a 7th grader, so she has a bright future in this.
Nice
knuckleball.
Good job by Lee. The miss on the first hit by Eldridge. You said my
But man,
bad.
that's what you want. You want to be aggressive. That ball is like, here, take this, and she was going for it.
Yeah, and she did a really good job. She just mistimed it as Gearhart will serve for the Lady Panthers, 13-7. Nice serve. And it's overpass. Williamson tries to do it, but cannot control it. Adams makes the call to Eldridge. And Lee, nice job to Gearhart. Sayers off the block. Mouton makes a good call. Free ball. In system here, goes too low, and Williamson with the block. So point. Pikeville, 13-8. Nice job that time by Williamson, and you can see why she leads the team in blocks.
Yes.
Timed it well, as Gearhart will serve once again. Nice knuckle serve. Pack with the up. Goes to Eldridge in the middle. Another block by Williamson. Gearhart, an nice angle in that deep right corner, left corner. And that's going to be in, and that was, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
That was a nice cut ball.
That was Woods that made that shot. Ideal placement.
Yes.
Number 17 is Cammie Cheeks. So, thank you all. As Eldridge with a cut shot. Nice job by Mouton. Gearhart once again in that deep corner, and that will win the point for Pikeville. 13-9, Letcher Central. Letcher Central's got to be leery of that. And when they come in, they've got to make sure, okay, Cameron Cheeks, all righty. And that on our list, there was not a number. So that was from Arbiter. We get everything from Arbiter Live. So if it's not on Arbiter Live, we don't have it. Okay, Eldridge, and that's going to be long. Point, Pikeville, 13-11, and Coach Van Hoos has seen enough. So it's going to be a timeout at 13-11, first set. Stay with us.
If you're looking for a convenient pharmacy location with a friendly, caring staff, look no further than Heinemann Pharmacy, located inside the new Heinemann Primary Care Center. Our pharmacy is open Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 6:30, but always stays open until the last patient is seen. Whether you need to pick up your refills in our drive-thru, need a favorite medicine for your little ones, or something to feel better after a visit to the clinic, the Heinemann Pharmacy inside Primary Care has got you covered. Located at 425 Heinemann Bypass. Call the Heinemann Pharmacy at 785-0513.
Okay, welcome back to Letcher County Central. Timeout was by Coach Van Hoos to try to stem the tide here as Gearhart will serve once again for Pikeville. Nice over top serve. Goes to Lucas, back over to Lowe with a cut shot. Sayers takes over to Gearhart, back set, and that's going to be Woods, and that's going to be out. And the point will go to Letcher Central. Wouldn't help by much, was it, Betts?
No, it was.
Good
That's
call.
why they ever called the lines.
Yep.
It's 14-11 Letcher Central.
I'm not going to say anything
I'm
since
not
I need to go to the eye doctor.
Me either.
I can't even read my stats sheet here. Mouton, nice up to Gearhart. Short set, Williamson, and that's going to be out. Point, Letcher Central. So the timeout, Betts, has worked, and
it has.
2-0 run now for Letcher Central.
And if you look at number 9, Williamson, she's not a big girl, but that ball was set behind her, and she went forward and used her body and arms, and that was a shot.
Cranked it.
Exactly right.
Point, Pikeville, 15-12, as Sayers will go back to serve. Nice serve. Napier with up to Lucas. Goes back set to Eldridge, and it's going to be a point for Letcher Central.
That ball had some English on it when it went across.
Want to wish a happy belated birthday to Miss Olivia Williamson. She was 18 this past week. Eldridge with a serve. Sayers with the up. Miscommunication that time, and that's going to be a point for Letcher Central, 17-12, and it's going to be a timeout for Pikeville. So stay with us. We'll be right back in 30.
If you're looking for a convenient pharmacy location with a friendly, caring staff, look no further than Heinemann Pharmacy, located inside the new Heinemann Primary Care Center. Our pharmacy is open Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 6:30, but always stays open until the last patient is seen. Whether you need to pick up your refills in our drive-thru, need a flavored medicine for your little ones, or something to feel better after a visit to the clinic, the Heinemann Pharmacy inside Primary Care has got you covered. Located at 425 Heinemann Bypass. Call the Heinemann Pharmacy at 785-0513.
Welcome back to Letcher Central in set 1, 17-12. Letcher Central timeout by Coach Hamilton to try to break up Eldridge's rhythm as she tries to serve it here. And each time there's been a timeout, it's been an effective one as Eldridge serves it. And once again, it proves to be true. And it's a point for Pikeville, 17-13. Letcher Central, set 1. Pikeville, the number 1 rated team by RPI in the 15th region. Williamson will be serving, serves it to Pack. Lucas back to Pack, off the block. Nice block by Woods. Gearhart to Williamson as she calls to Lee, off the block, out of bounds, and that will be a point, Pikeville.
You know, Manus, that happens a lot because they're so far out the net blocking.
And we can see that from our we're up here on the second level. We can see it really good up there.
And, of course, all these will get better, but, you know, when you're blocking, as soon as that ball touches your hands, you have to make a forward effort.
It has to be.
Right. You've got to push it back. And right now, most blockers are just letting it hit, and it's just that's why it's falling on their side.
Yep. As Lowe serves, and it's off the net, and it's going to be a point for Pikeville. Good point, Betty Vaughn. That's why I've got you. I've got your smarts right here helping me. I need your smarts.
Thank you, Manus.
I'm not too smart on some days, as Woods will go out and Perez will come in to serve for Pikeville. 18-15.
And like I
believe that to be the right score.
Yes. And like I said, both these teams are running a 5-1, so they have 5 hitters and they have 1 setter.
Mouton once again effective. And that's going to be long. Napier just right idea in that far left corner, but a little bit long. That point goes to Pikeville.
You seen when that ball left her hand, it had that little bit of hang time, just enough hang to put
palm.
It out. Yeah, just enough hang time to send it out of bounds.
Perez with the serve. Adams, nice job of Napier, and it's going to be a free ball for Pikeville. Sayers to Gearhart, and that's going to be the freshman, and that's going to be a point as Miss Cheeks gets the point for Pikeville, and as they draw closer to Letcher Central, 18-17, Letcher Central. Elders did not handle that one well, and Bailey was able to get it across to Gearhart to Lee, and it's going to be point as Lee gets the kill, and that's going to be 18-18, and Letcher Central is going to call a timeout. 18-18, 7-1. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Since 1962, Citizens Bank and Trust of Jackson has been proud to serve the community. They care about the people of Breathitt County and are the only locally owned bank in the community. With 2 branches in Jackson and 1 in Beattyville, they're never too far away when you need them. And with the latest innovations in banking, keeping track of your finances has never been easier. Helping to grow Breathitt County as leaders for over 60 years. That's Citizens Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Welcome back to Letcher County Central High School. Thank you for tuning in to Hometown 24 Volleyball with me and Betty Von Cottle, as Pikeville will serve at 18-18.
And, guys, we love doing this.
Yeah.
I love the sport. There's just so much action in it so fast.
Oh, yeah. As Lee, and that's going to be a kill for Lee. And that puts Pikeville ahead for the first time in the first set, 19-18.
And Lee's just found her little hole back there. She's going to dig and dig and dig until they cover that, or,
she's hitting it over top of the blockers,
they are.
too, Betty Bun.
And you've got to adjust that defense to every hitter.
Perez with a nice knuckleball serve. Bailey across and back to Adams, who will bump it across. Mouton makes the call to Gearhart. In the middle to Cheeks. Nice job by Eldridge getting it to the setter. Back to Pack. Pack, I don't believe it crossed. And that was the correct call. Miss Turner makes the right call, and that's going to be a point for Pikeville, 20-18. Pikeville Lady Panthers, as they've come back, Betty Vaughn.
They have, and Adams over here is working hard. I love the enthusiasm she shows every game, every hit. And
Bailey with a hit off the block. Mouton. Sayers will get across. That's all Mouton.
Pure hustle.
Adams back set to Napier, and there was Perez waiting on it. Goes back to Pack. Pack off the block. There's Mouton. Gets it to Gearhart. Over to Lee. And there's that spot, Betty Vaughn, as she puts down another kill. 21-18, Pikeville.
Yeah, Pikeville's working these deep corners on both sides. So Letcher Central's going to have to – they're going to have to work those wings. The wings will either have to fold back or they're going to have to pull that libero one.
Yeah. As Blevins will come in for Eldridge, Perez serving, and went right at the new sub. That's good strategy.
It is.
Gearhart across to Lee. Lee goes down, but there is Lucas waiting on it. Cut shot by Pack. Gearhart short set to Cheeks, and that's going to be long, and that's going to be a point, Letcher Central. A long dry spell for the Lady Cougars. 21-19 Pikeville. Served by Napier to straight to Mouton.
You can tell why Mouton has that black shirt on.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Lucas tries to dump it, but guess who's there? Gearhart, short set to Cheeks, straight down.
Oh, that was a nice cut shot in the center.
And that's going to be point for Pikeville, 22.
That was a smart play, because if she had come straight forward, that ball was blocked.
Yes.
So that's why you always face the net. You've got to know who's on the other side.
And you can't see it from the camera angle we had up there, but you can see that she went around.
Yes, she did.
Long pass, nice job.
Both centers done a good job on that ball.
Blocked by Lucas off of Sayers. Go back to Sayers down the line, and it was off the block, and that's a point for Pikeville, 23-19. Lee with a serve. Nice over the top to Adams. Pack gets it across to Perez. Gearhart short to Cheek there, and that's up by Blevins. Off the block, and that's trying to catch him, but they do not catch as Lee was there. Sayers down the line, and that's going to be a kill for Pikeville. And that will take it to set point, 24-19.
But watch Sayers. They're moving her in the front row, and she's moving the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless of where she's at, she's still finding different spots to hit the ball.
Lee
so she's just picking holes right now.
Overpass, and Gearhart just mistimed it. Lucas goes in the middle and over the top, and there's Perez. And it's a little game of chess going on here. Who can get in system? It looks like Letcher Central has that opportunity to Pack, and that's not going to cross, and that's going to be the first set as Pikeville takes the first set, 25-19. We'll be back with set number 2, so stay with us.
Great communities attract talented people to live, work, and raise their families. We're committed to delivering future-proof broadband so our friends, families, and neighbors can live rich lives in smart rural communities across America. Your community is our community. We're your rural broadband partners. You do great things. We make great things possible.
Nestled in the mountains of Appalachia, along the Purpose Road, is a hidden gem, Alice Lloyd College. For 100 years, ALC has been providing opportunities.
Opportunity to learn from the best.
Opportunity to work for my education.
Opportunity to serve my community.
Opportunity to become a leader.
Opportunity to find my life's purpose.
Apply now to find your purpose at Alice Lloyd College.
What keeps you going? Your love for the game? Your teammates? A victory? At ARH Orthopedics, our goal is to keep you pain-free so your body can keep going. There's no time for discomfort in your joints or ligaments caused by an injury. ARH Orthopedic providers specialize in treatment plans, from non-surgical and surgical options, so your care is entirely centered around you. Visit arh.org/ortho to find an orthopedic provider near you. ARH, more for Appalachia.
Welcome back to Letcher County Central as the first set has gone to the Pikeville Lady Panthers. And as we move into set number 2, thank you for tuning in. Karen K. Cottle, thank you for tuning in. And Betty Vaughn is my sidekick. Thank you, Danny Cottle, Katie Profit, Misty Baker, and Mackenzie Smith for tuning in. Thank you, Misty Baker, for allowing me to watch your feeds of Knott County Central because it helps me in planning for a lot of these games. And I appreciate any and all people that do that. It just helps, and and a lot of people like tuning in as they do for Hometown 24. And we thank all the sponsors who make this happen. And please, it all come out and watch these kids, and if you can't come watch them here on Hometown 24.
Yeah, and we hope this makes this enjoyable to the ones who aren't here. So
and we'll be over at Knott County Central tomorrow night as Johnson Central will come and face the Lady Patriots, fresh off of their trip down in the All-A State Classic, and they got to play a really good team down there. I think that team's called St. Henry. We know a little bit about the 9th region as Letcher Central started off in set number 2, and it's Lucas with a nice serve, nice play by Perez. Williamson hung up there forever. Gearhart back to Sayer, and that's down the line, and that was in. And that's a kill for Pikeville as they start the second set off. And Perez will go out, and in comes Woods as Gearhart will go back to serve. Gearhart, nice serve. Adams with it up to Lucas, goes across to Lowe, and it's going to be off of Lee. And a real tough play by Mouton. Laughs about it, but it's really hard to judge that. Right there underneath the basketball goal. So point, Letcher Central 1-1.
Now, I think she thought it was going to hit one of those poles or the line.
Yeah.
So you have Hannah Eldridge up serving for Letcher County Central.
Nice serve. There's the Mouton. Gearhart back set to Williamson. Tried to go over top of Lowe's block. Adams with a nice job getting it back to Eldridge. Short to Williamson. Gearhart across to Sayer off the block. And Lowe could not.
Oh, that was a nice up by Lowe.
I didn't think she was going to get to it, Betty Vaughn. Woods
I have
kicks
no
it
idea,
back.
but it's a good play.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Tries to go down. There's Moot. There's that deep shot, but I believe, yes, it was out of bounds down the line. But that's a good idea by Gearhart. Everybody was pushing on up, and then when they do, she does the two-hand push in the far left and right corners as Eldridge will serve once again. And that's going to be long, and that's going to be point, Pikeville, and that makes it 2-2, I believe. Nice job by Eldridge to Pack. Sayer to the back set to Woods, and there is
Nice up by Lucas.
And Pack's going to hit it out. She was asking for a touch, but there's no touch, so it's point Pikeville. Somebody did call a touch.
Yes.
I thought
the line judge called a touch. Okay.
No, there was not
They called a touch, but it has to be the line judge on the ball side.
Yes.
And she said, I did not see a touch.
No. And that's going to be a point for Pikeville on the service ace, 4-2 Pikeville. So when you start looking at it here, and as Ms. Lucas will go over and ask official Turner about the touch, but I think official Turner is going to tell her the exact same thing that you told our listeners and our watchers, that it could not be that way, and it's already past that time anyway, so there's nothing that actually can be done. And, of course, we don't have a review camera like they do in NCAA play. Watched some really good NCAA volleyball lately. Watched Louisville play the other night and Kentucky. As Sayer will serve at 4-2. And that's a nice serve. Hits the net, and that's going to be an ace, 5-2, Pikeville. Lady Cougars got to find something here, Betty Vaughn.
I'll tell you right now, Letcher Central is in a dread of their passes are not. Their passes are a little off, so I think they're worried so much about that. Now they quit communicating.
Yes, and Coach Van Hoos has seen enough. It's 6-2 Panthers, and we'll be right back.
For over 100 years, the Bank of Hyman has been committed to serving our community and serving the future of our families, homes, and businesses. With our new convenient online banking, viewing your account balance and history, transferring money, and paying bills has never been easier or more secure. And with the construction of our new headquarters, we've renewed our promise to Hyman to stand by our customers even in troubling economic times, because we're not just your bank, we're your neighbors. That's the Bank of Hyman. Log on to www.bankofhyman.com or give us a call at 606-785-3158.
Welcome back to Letcher County Central as we are at 6-2 and set number 2. And Coach Van Hoos,
she's trying to
really getting after him.
She is, and she's trying to get her younger players settled down,
yeah.
you know.
And the timeout works as the serve goes long. And, you know, sometimes even if they're young, you've got to get after them a little bit, and she did that time as Bailey will come in for Adams. Low with the serve, nice knuckleball serve, and it was out.
You know, you have not seen a lot of missed serves so far.
No, both teams have served really well, and that, if you can patent that serve right there where you serve it, hit the net, you win a lot of points.
You do.
And Williamson with the ace off the net, and that's 8-3, and we talked about this once upon a time. It would be a reserve in the old dinosaur days.
True.
Adams up and trying to confuse them, and nope, it's out of bounds, and it's going to be point for Pikeville, 9-3.
Right now, Letcher Central just needs to settle down and get the ball back.
Yep. And that's going to be out, service error, and it's going to be 9-4 as Mouton will come in for Williamson. Yeah, you know, you got to string some points together here if you're Letcher Central, and if you're Pikeville, you just got to side them out. Short serve to Mouton. Gearhart back set. The Woods over top of the block.
That was a nice shot.
And it's going to be a free ball as Pat gets it back in. Mouton's ready for it. Goes back to Woods. Woods down the line, and that's going to be a kill. And that's 10-4 Pikeville. And Perez will come in for Woods, and she'll go back to serve. And, you know, you got to get your crowd into it, too.
You do.
Pikeville's crowd's into it because they're rocking and rolling, and Letcher Central's kind of sitting on their hands. And Perez hits it into the net for the service error, and that's going to be a point.
Well, if you've noticed, Pikeville's hitters are using a little bit different. I mean, they're using different shots every time. Now, with Pike, you've got to tell her to go down the line. That's a shot that's hard to play, and
and
right
we've
now
seen her
she's
use
yes,
it.
and
Yes.
she can use it. That's the thing. She can hit that shot.
Adams with a nice up. Bailey, nice job by Lee. Cheek turns it back over between the block and scores a point for Pikeville, 11-5. And Lee will go back to serve, and she's going to serve it. And ever since, Betty Vaughn, it's sportscaster jinx.
I know, I shouldn't have said
As
that.
soon as you said that it was service, it was real good, but now we've had 3 errors.
Well, I think the Pikeville coach is trying to call that middle shot, and they're just hitting it low.
Yeah. And Sayer had her shot blocked, and I believe that was Eldridge. And that's going to be a point for Letcher Central, 11-7, and very good serve by Adams. Perez nice up, but it's overpass, and Lowe's there for the winner, 11-8.
And you're talking Lowe's playing that well. These sophomores, and they're just sophomores.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're learning a lot. They're going to learn a lot. They're going to grow.
Pack across to Eldridge off the block. Nice job by Lee. Gives it up to Cheek, and there, this time Pack's got it. Nice job. Free ball, and that's going to be out. Point, Pikeville, 12-8. And, you know, when you look at Pikeville, Lee is a sophomore.
Yes.
You know, that even Williamson is their main senior. And then, of course, you got Mouton, who is a senior, as she serves it. Lucas back set, and that goes to Eldridge, and she couldn't. She was too far in, and it goes long.
Yeah, she took off too fast.
Yep.
And you're looking at, even you're saying all Pikeville only has 2, but look what they're losing. This Mouton
Oh,
is.
yeah. Mouton.
When you look, you think there's 3 of her on the floor.
You don't get 1,000 career digs.
No, by standing.
No. So Adams with an up to Lucas, and there's Adams. Got to get together here to and that's a nice hit as Williamson goes around the block for the point. 14-8, Pikeville.
Right now, I think Letcher Central's a little confused on how they're going to play around that block.
Mouton with a long serve. Pack plays it to Lucas. Low with a deep one.
Right,
Lee.
she's giving her team a chance to get back set in defense.
And nice block off of Sayer by Lowe, and that's a point for Letcher Central. 14-9, Pikeville, as Lucas will serve once again. Perez to Gearhart. It comes to Williamson, and it's going to be a point. 2 could hardly handle it, and it's 15-9 as Woods will come in for Perez, as Gearhart will go back to serve.
But I tell you what I like, Letcher Central has not dropped their head. They're still playing hard.
No, oh no.
They're trying to figure out how to close these gaps up.
Nice serve by Gearhart, and that makes it 16-9. And Blevins comes off the bench and will go in for Pack. And Blevins is a freshman for Letcher Central. They went straight at her. Low with a hit. And there's Mouton to Gearhart. She tries to catch him off, but Adams is there. Goes back to Napier off the block, but Mouton gets it up. Sayer down the line, blocked by Lowe. Williamson to Gearhart, across the Woods over top. Both blockers for the point for Pikeville. 17-9, Pikeville. Second set. Pikeville won the first set, 25-19.
Nice up.
Miscommunication.
It was a nice up by Blevins. She pushed it to the front row. They just wasn't exactly sure who was going to take that one.
And Coach Van Hoos is going to call another timeout at 18-9, and we'll be back in 30 seconds.
See a penny? Pick it up. and head to Appalachian Wireless and buy a new iPhone 13. One little old penny for an iPhone 13. Choose a 2-year contract or on the Mix and Match or Unlimited plan. Staying connected never goes out of style, and we make it easy with a new iPhone 13 for just a penny. Terms and conditions do apply. Visit AppalachianWireless.com for details. We are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
Welcome back to Letcher County Central as Pikeville is up 18-9 in the second set. Letcher Central got to find something here, Betty Vaughn.
Hey, dude, and I just want to let everybody know we are non-biased. We're here for every team, every kid on every team.
Regardless of region or
Lord,
world.
we love the game.
We love volleyball.
Yes. I love watching these young men and women get out here and just play something they enjoy playing.
As Eldridge scores the point, a much-needed point, as Pack will come back in for
And honestly, that's probably Pack just needed a little bit of a breather, get her wing.
And right back in.
Yeah, and get in there and then do her job.
That's a nice job by Coach Van Hoots. It's got a free ball here. See if they can get within the system.
Nice up by Eldridge.
And it goes to low off the block of Williamson, and that's 2 points in a row. That's much needed after the timeout. 18-11, Pikeville, as Eldridge will continue to serve, and Coach Hamilton, and you can see the seniors are taking over and saying something there. Even Gearhart, who is a sophomore, you can tell she's a leader. And that's going to be, might have been long, but they had to go for it. And that's going to be a free ball. Comes to Lucas. Lucas goes back set, and that's going to be a block by Williamson, but it goes out of bounds, and that's going to be a point for Letcher Central.
I'm amazed how well Williamson jumps because she does not look like that big of a girl. But, of course, we're upstairs, so she may be bigger than what we think, but she can get up.
Gearhart back set, Sager, and that's going to be out on the sideline, and I think we're going to have a timeout. And after we come back, it'll be 18-13, and Pikeville's up. So stay with us here on Hometown 24.
No matter what town or community you live in, there's a Tim Short dealership nearby. That's because our family of dealerships are dedicated to serving the folks throughout Eastern Kentucky. Our employees are your friends and neighbors, helping to support the local economy and provide safe and affordable transportation to everyone that shops the family of Tim Short dealerships. Our entire inventory can be found with a click of a button at timshortautogroup.com. Visit us online and join the thousands of customers that took the short drive to satisfaction today.
Welcome back to Letcher County Central as Coach Hamilton calls a timeout after the rally by Letcher Central. 18-13, Pikeville, second set, up one set to love. Eldridge with a serve to lead. Gearhart goes to Woods off the block, and they're saying it did not cross. There was not a block, so therefore point Letcher Central.
So it is 14-18, Letcher Central serving. Hannah Eldridge is up.
And Lee, and it's going to be another free point as Pikeville struggling to get in system. Low off of Williamson, and that's going to be another point. 18-15, Pikeville.
And this is what we're talking about. When you're playing a good team, you cannot free ball and give them shots.
And you can't relax.
No.
When you smell
Volleyball's
blood,
too fast.
When you smell blood, you've got to go after it. So.
Yes.
18-15, Pikeville, as Eldridge will continue to serve. Nice serve. Mouton gets it up. Gearhart, another free ball. Back set, and looks like Mouton's right there. Goes back to Woods, and there is Eldridge. Nice job, but it's going to be a point. Pikeville, 19-15. Nice serve, but it's going to go wide, and it's going to be point Letcher Central. Looked like to me that Sayers was trying to put a little bit of a screwball spin on it, and it went further than she thought off the right side as Lowe will serve. And that's going to be an ace. It's a little miscommunication.
Yes.
And that's going to be a point. 19-17 as Letcher Central draws closer to the Lady Panthers.
But I like the way, look at at Pikeville how they're discussing. They're talking what ball's yours, what ball you're taking.
And that's player-led. Overpass. Bailey tries to dump it. There's Lee. Back set to Napier, and it's going to go off of Gearhart, and it's going to be point Letcher Central. 19-18. Pikeville.
They've clawed right back to the ball game. They're down by one.
And you can see both teams are trying to get each side up.
Exactly.
Low with the serve. Sayer with it to Gearhart. Back set to Williamson. And when you are in doubt, you go to your workhorse. And Williamson puts it down. 2018. Pikeville.
And where does she go? To the line.
Yep.
And guys, you only have one player over there, so that you're playing one player.
Yep.
On that line.
Nice back set by Gearhart.
Nice up by Adams.
And Napier.
Smart play by Napier, getting it over, giving them a chance to get ready.
Nice hit by Lee, and nice up by Eldridge. Back set to Napier, and that's going to be a point. And looks like Williams will come up, and she will come in for Gearhart. So not sure who will be the setter. As I look down the list, not many people have assists other than Gearhart, but Hamilton, Coach Hamilton says I need to talk to her.
Right.
And that's a nice set. Lee with a nice shot. Looks across to Pack off the block. There's Mouton. And that's going to be a push across. Lucas tries to catch him off, but there's Mouton. And that's going to be a point for Letcher Central, and that ties the score at 20.
And they brought 24 Williams came in to set, and now they're bringing in Gearhart is back in the ball game, number 20.
You knew that wasn't going to last very long.
No, she just had to talk to her and let her know. I think it's her defense maybe she's a little worried about right now.
Yep. And that puts Letcher Central up 21-20, and Coach Hamilton is going to call a timeout. We're in the second set. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm attorney David Johnson. You may recognize me from some of our other ads, but injuries from an auto accident are no joking matter. With over 25 years of experience, our offices have the resources and expertise to go head-to-head with big insurance. While most of our cases get resolved without going to court, trust me, they know if the attorney you choose will take it this far. Either way, our clients get paid. So for all your legal needs, get the pros on your side.
Welcome back to Letcher Central as the tide has turned, and I'm not talking about Alabama Roll Tide, but I'm talking about Letcher County Central has gone ahead of Pikeville in this second set, 21-20, and Coach Hamilton, she's pulling some cards out here, Betty Vaughn, to try to win this second set.
And the pass with these two teams is a very good, strong pass, and you can tell that neither one of these teams wants to get beat tonight.
Back set, and that's going to be a nice shot, but nice up by Eldridge. Bailey brought it across, and Cheeks brings it down, and that's going to tie it back up 21-all. As Perez will come in, and Woods will go out for Pikeville. It's going to come down to who can pass inside that system.
Yes. And Pikeville is calling their serves.
And that was close, and they can play that, and it's going to be a point. It hit the guy. If you couldn't see it, it hit the guide wires that lead to the basketball goal, and you can play that.
Yes.
You just can't play the basketball go and the backboard.
Right, because it is out of bounds.
Yes.
It's out of the court.
Perez will serve. Goes to Adams. Bump set over to Bailey. Bailey to Mouton. Across as Eldridge gets it. Back to Pack. There's the block, and it's going to go out of bounds off the block, and that's going to be a point for Letcher County Central as Pack will go back to serve.
It is 22-22.
Yes, it is. And you can see people getting on the edge of their seats now, and that is way out, and that's going to be a point for Pikeville.
So it is 23-22. Pikeville serves, and you have Lee. She's a sophomore.
Yep.
Serving for Pikeville.
A very all-around good player.
Yes.
Lucas back to Eldridge off the block, and that's going to be a point for Letcher Central, 23-23. Even the players are feeling it, I believe, just a little bit. They keep looking up there at the score.
Yes.
23-23, and Adams will go back to serve for Letcher County Central. And it's going to be a mishandle, and that's going to be a point for Letcher Central, which will bring them to set point as Williamson will come in for Perez. Adams serving for the second set. Nice knuckleball. Nice job coming off the bench to get it up. Sayers up. A little bit of an overpass. Handled well. Adams to Lucas across, and that's a miss set, and that's going to be a point for Pikeville. 24-24, and you got to win by 2. We're officially, I guess, in overtime. Second set. Is that what you call it? Overtime?
I guess.
I don't know what you call it. Mouton, nice serve, goes to Pack. Lucas across to Low, and that's going to be out. And that's going to be 25-24 Pikeville, and they will serve for the second set.
Low also, look at her, and she put some heat on that ball.
That was non-returnable either way.
Exactly.
Mouton. Nice float serve to Pack. Lucas goes to Eldridge, and she is smart. Nobody there as the 2 blockers came across, and that's going to tie it up once again, 25 all, as Lucas will go back to serve.
That's what you can do when you're facing the net and you're watching that defense.
And that was a very smart play. And serve's going to be, and that's going to be back as they cross it. Is that going to cross? It is not. And that makes it 26-25 Letcher Central. And they will serve for the second set again. Back and forth. Float to Mouton. Gearhart to Williamson, and that's going to be a point. 26-26.
You've already, this is the second game, and these teams are pulling out every shot they can pull out.
And I'm getting cramps watching this. They're exerting a lot of energy.
Yes, they are.
Exerting a lot of energy. As Gearhart will serve. Nice serve. Adams with a nice one. And that's going to be a point. And they're going to call
over the net.
Over the net. They're going to call over the net on Pikeville. And Captain Gearhart is going to ask the official Turner about the call. So we'll get some clarification here as official Stacy is going to walk over, and they're going to consult and see whether or not it was interference on this side of the net.
Tipped the ball, yes.
If there is no tip, then the point will go to Pikeville. And that is what official Stacy has told. And
right.
That's why you work together as officials as well,
yes,
as players. So that will then, I'm not sure about the score, but I think it is now Pikeville, yes, and it will be set point.
Yes.
Yes. And that is going to be the second set for Pikeville as they win the second set 28-26. And when we come back, we will start set number 3. Stay with us.
Home sweet home. At First Federal Savings and Loan of Hazard, we've been providing our friends and neighbors the sweet dream of homeownership since 1960. We're proud to support the community we work and live in. That's why we take so much pride in providing competitive rates, low closing costs, and quick turnaround by local decision makers. Investing and growing our community is what we do. At First Federal Savings and Loan of Hazard, we believe that there's no place like our home. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Just want to watch the game.
That turned on the ceiling fan. Use the gray remote. Hit power, then input.
It's not working.
That's the silver one.
It might be difficult to understand what all the remotes on your coffee table do. But with a Kentucky Farm Bureau agent in every county, at least it's easy to get great insurance. Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
Next time, I'll just go to the game.
A lot has changed in 100 years. We've gone from the Model T to the electric car, from silent film to home theaters, and from the telegram to the iPhone. And through it all, People's Bank and Trust of Hazard has been there for local people. From paper checks to debit cards, from wire transfers to online banking, People's Bank has maintained a tradition of service while embracing the future for your financial needs. Celebrating a century of service to the mountains. People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to Letcher County Central as we will be entering set number 3. Pikeville's up 2-0. What can happen here, Betty Vaughn? What does Coach Van Hoos need to do? Do you do lineup changes? Do you just do a little bit of your different scheme? What do you do in the third set?
Well, she has a young team, so she's got to keep them pepped up and involved in the game, which they look like every game I've watched so far, they've done well, but they have to work on their passes. Like you said, the couple games that we've watched the LCC play, they're just not passing as well tonight as they have been, but you know, they haven't played Pikeville either, and Pikeville's putting all kinds of shots, and Pikeville's also running this ball away from Piper Adams.
Yeah.
So Piper's not getting a lot of touches tonight.
Well, you know, in today's world, you can't hide anything because in the streaming world, you know exactly about everybody and how they hit and who are the best players in all sports. So
Yes.
You can't hide anything, and Adams is one of those people. As we start the third set and Pack goes back up with low, and that's a nice block that time by Williamson.
And it was a much better cover from Letcher Central on protecting that block. I mean, they were there. It just
yeah. And Woods and Williamson team up on the block on that down that line on the opposite side as Gearhart will serve. Go straight to Pack, and once again, don't handle the ball very well, and it's going to be 2-0 Pikeville, and Blevins will come in for Pack. And, you know, one thing I notice about Letcher Central's players, when Coach Van Hoos takes them out, they give her eye contact, and they nod, and a nice block by Woods as another point for Pikeville. So they're taking coaching really, really well. And that's what you got to have if you want your team to improve. It's constructive criticism.
If you want to if you want to get better as a player, you have to take that and go on.
And Williamson with on the overpass straight down. And they're going to say that Williamson stepped across the line, so that's going to be a point for Letcher Central on the overpass.
But, you know, as a coach, you really can't complain about that. That's what you want them doing. You want them to be aggressive.
And she hit it straight down.
Yes, she did.
And it's going to be a service error as it'll be 4-1 Pikeville. Letcher Central can't afford to get behind in this third set.
No, you can't. With a team like this, you can't get behind 6 or 7 points because you're going to have to work yourself to death to get back even.
Nice up by Blevins, goes back set to Eldridge, and that's going to be out. And that's going to be a point for Pikeville, 5-1.
And I'm sure that Pikeville have been in some big tournaments. You know, they're trying to get district regional ready also.
Yes. And that's off the block of low by Lee, and that's going to be a point for Pikeville. Well, when you go down and look at their schedule, they've played a lot of 16th region teams, and they've played a lot of 15th region teams that are good. So just like Letcher Central and Knott Central and those in our area, as Williamson will hit it, and it's going to be in, and that's going to be a point for Pikeville, 6-1.
But, you know, if you want to get better, you have to play better teams. You have to get out of here. You have to travel. And, you know, these kids need to learn how to travel and play.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because ultimately, when you go to the state tournament, you're going to be staying somewhere, and that's off. And that was off of Blevins. And that's going to be 8-1 Pikeville. Sayers doing a nice job of serving. Napier with a long shot. Sayers gets it back to Gearhart for Lee off the block, and that's going to be a point for Pikeville, and that's going to make it 9-1.
Honestly, right now with me, the difference you see is that Pikeville is just, they're passing better.
Yeah.
I mean, their passing game right now is just better, and the games I've seen Letcher Central play, their passing has been really good. You have those games, though. So.
Oh, yeah, in any sport, and that's a nice hit that time, and that's going to be a point for Letcher Central.
You can either give up and sit on the bench, or you can fight through, and they're trying to fight through. So.
Oh, most definitely is.
I like that both of these young coaches have their players playing at a very high tempo. You can see I like the talking on the floor.
Gearhart to middle set, blocked by Lowe off of Woods. Gearhart back to Lee. Cross court, Adams comes up with it, and that's going to be does not cross, and that's not going to be a block, but that's going to be a point for Pikeville, and that's going to be 10-2.
And I think what has happened, Pat got a couple of balls blocked on the line, so she's trying to go cross court now. She needs to go back to the line and see if they can handle that line shot again and get comfortable with a hit.
Lucas with Lowe and off the block. Gearhart back set to Woods over top of the double block, and it's going to be a point for Pikeville, 11-2.
That's just a very good shot. Very smart. She's looking at the ball.
And Williamson will go back to serve. And it's going to be a miscue, and there is a timeout by Coach Van Hoos. 12-2, Pikeville in the third set. We'll be right back.
TVS Cable has everything you need to stay entertained. Video services with all your favorite channels and local sports on Hometown 24. Ask about digital voice service for home and business. High-speed internet so you never fall behind in a game. There's something for all ages. We've got you covered. Sit back and enjoy everything TVS has to offer. Stay connected with TVS.
Welcome back to Letcher County Central as Pikeville will be serving at 12-2. And Adams cannot handle the serve. Just a reminder, tomorrow night we will be at the Morton Combs Athletic Complex as Johnson Central will be being hosted by the Knox County Central Lady Patriots. Goes back to Napier, and that's going to be a block. Nope, no block. It did not cross, and that's going to be a point. And it's 14-2, Pikeville. We should be on the air tomorrow sometime, anytime after 7, so join us if you can. If not, go out and watch them play tomorrow night. Point, Pikeville, 15-2. And a reminder, we'll be right back here at Letcher County Central Friday night. Me and David Adams, Jim Bob will be doing sound system for Sturgill Simpson. And that's going to be out as Breathitt County Bobcats will come to Letcher County Central to play the Letcher County Central Cougars. Breathitt County coming off a big win against Hazard Bulldogs last Friday night. Pack across to Lowe. Back set to Woods. It's a block, and that's Pack who makes the block, and that's going to be a point for Letcher Central. A long drought by Letcher County Central. Also a big win by Letcher County Central Friday night as well. So both teams coming off a win. Tune in if you can on Hometown 24. Lowe will serve. Nice knuckleball serve, and that is in. Nice serve down the line. Point, Letcher Central.
Right here is Van Hoos is going to see who's going to stick it and play hard and who's just going to fold up.
Yeah.
You're hoping your team right here just sticks in there and plays as hard as they can.
And that serve is going to go long. 17-14. or 17-4, excuse me. Didn't get enough sleep last night. And Perez will serve for Pikeville. Lucas with a back set to Napier. Nice job by Sayers getting it across to Lee. Somebody looked like they were in the net. No call.
That was a nice play by Lucas to get behind that block.
And it's going to be 4, so it's going to be a point, Letcher Central. And, you know, you're looking for body language, just like you're talking about. Who has the best body language when you're down, and who wants to rise above it?
You know, as a coach, you're over there, you're giving out skills. All nice job by Adams by just hanging around. But I know there was times that Kevin and I would coach, and then we would sit there and then we would cheerlead. You know, you've got different. You have different hats you have to use on the sideline.
And, you know, different kids react in different manners. And that's off the block of Cheeks, and that's going to be a point as Pack has the key.
And you notice they brought Pack to the right side. They've had her on the left side. They brought her to the right. She just needs to settle down and just play the game that she's been playing.
Pack with a nice serve. Perez is unable to control it. There's Mouton. Point, Letcher Central. And, you know, Pikeville, you know, like I said earlier, when you smell blood, you got to put them away here. You do not want Letcher Central back in the volleyball match.
No, it only takes a couple of points or a couple of mistakes to get back in.
And Perez with a nice look to the long serve, 19-7, Pikeville. Mouton with the serve. Nice floater serve. Napier to look off of Eldridge off the block. Gearhart across to Sayer. Tried to draw it down the line, but did not cross the net, and that's a point for Letcher Central. As Bailey will go out and Lowe comes in the game.
You have Lowe hits the ball well. Eldridge hits the ball well. Napier hits the ball well for Letcher County Central.
Gearhart almost catches them off guard. Eldridge to Lee. Gearhart back to Sayer, and that's going to go long, and that's going to be point, Letcher Central.
And everybody that Pikeville's hit, that used the hit, has hit well.
Yep.
I mean,
that's why I would love to have hitting statistics, but Williamson with a big kill there, and that makes it 29, Pikeville. And Perez goes out, and in comes Woods.
That's what makes you a team that's hard to get beat, is because you have hitters all over the floor.
Yep.
And this ball's being moved faster than you can travel.
Pack with an overpass, and that's going to be point. Pikeville 21-9. Serve down the middle, and Adams does not handle it well. Adams comes back to her. Bump inside system goes to Williamson. Nice look, but Adams is there to help, and cross by Napier.
Yeah, that was a nice shot by Napier trying to get it deep in that corner.
And there's Williamson with a kill, 22-9.
And that's the thing, when you have a middle like that can move that ball so well, you're going to have to start double teaming her, double blocking her to try to make somebody else hit the ball.
And Gearhart's going to go back to serve at 22-9. You know, Williamson, good all-around player.
Yes.
And there she is, goes back across, and Lowe is there for the point for Letcher Central, 22-10.
Lowe is getting better each game on playing that net.
And, you know, you can't develop size and length.
No, you can't.
She has that. Lucas serves it to Mouton. Gearhart goes to Woods, and it's going to be Pack. Napier off the block, and it's not going to cross, and that's going to be a point for Pikeville, 23-10.
I tell you what, all these kids have. They have the love for this game.
Oh, yeah, and you have to.
Yes,
They're going to be ups and downs. How well do you deal with the lows of the season? Anybody can deal with the wins. As Williamson hits it off of Lowe, and I think that's our Alice Lloyd College player of the night, and that will be
number 9.
Miss Olivia Williamson.
She is a senior.
And a very good player,
yes.
And looking forward to keeping up with her in her 15th region rest of the year. Lowe hits it out, and that is going to be the match, 25-10 and set number 3. When we come back, we'll make our final thoughts and talk about what's coming up next on Hometown 24. Stay with us.
Since 1962, Citizens Bank and Trust of Jackson has been proud to serve the community. They care about the people of Breathitt County and are the only locally owned bank in the community. With 2 branches in Jackson and 1 in Beattyville, they're never too far away when you need them. And with the latest innovations in banking, keeping track of your finances has never been easier. Helping to grow Breathitt County as leaders for over 60 years. That's Citizens Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Welcome back to Letcher County Central as the Pikeville Lady Panthers have won set 3-0 against Letcher County Central. Our Alice Lloyd College player of the game was, of course, number 9, senior Olivia Williamson. Congratulations to the Lady Panthers. And tomorrow night we will be at Knott County Central High School as the Johnson Central will face Knott County Central in girls volleyball. Then Friday night in football, we'll be back here at Letcher County Central as David Adams and myself will be here for the Breathitt County and Letcher County Central football games. Betty Vaughn, final thoughts.
I just like the way these 2 young coaches, when they took players out, they just didn't sit them on the bench. They actually turned around or had somebody on the bench discussing what they need to work on. Sometimes it was just you need to cool down. I like that both teams played hard all through 3 matches. You didn't see anybody giving up. You didn't see any other teams arguing among themselves.
No.
Great sportsmanship with each other. That's what makes a good team.
Yeah, and Letcher County Central are going to have better nights.
Oh, yes, they will.
They're going to have better nights, and when you deal with a young team, sometimes you're going to have ups and you're going to have downs. Yes. And the same way with the Pikeville Lady Panthers. Coach Hamilton, wish good luck, and with Coach Van Hoos, we'll probably see them really, really soon when I think when Knott Central, we will have the Knott Central Letcher Central game. I'll have to look at the calendar. But for all of the viewers, all of our sponsors, Betty Von Cottle, myself, Josh Cornett, Jeremy Wolf, we appreciate everybody for tuning in, and until next